things out, allows him to do that. The bans now, that red side cast it in, but the Kale going out for Scarra here.
Yeah, that's a rather interesting ban right there against him. It's obviously been banned, how many times?
4 times.
Banned 4 times against Dignitas. So it's definitely one of his main champions. I wonder if they're banning Gragas as well, as long as they seem to be targeting mid lane champions.
Yeah, Gragas was kind of that win that fueled them coming into this. It's really just been, like we said, that train on the tracks moving at full speed to keep shoveling the coal in. Could be one more game here against Curse, a team that's kind of trying to find themselves still.
Yeah, Curse has been struggling a fair bit so far. Dignitas has recovered from their struggles. If they don't ban Pantheon, I think Curse takes it right away here. Just knowing how successful they were when IWillDominate jungled with them.
And we just saw what Snoopy could do with it. They were really setting up the early part of the game, but weren't able to make the moves late game. We'll see if it turns out to be different here. The last ban coming in is Wukong.
So, surprisingly, yeah, there's the first pick, Pantheon. Surprisingly, Wukong is a champion IWillDominate's played twice, defeated both times on it.
Yeah.
So, very actually surprising move there by Dignitas. They just fear the Wukong more so than the Pantheon.
Yeah, it looks like KiwiKid's Annie got banned out this game. He's going to be forced onto Thresh, but they take that for him right away, seeing that Curse doesn't grab up the support for Saint.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what SaintVicious ends up doing here.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I mean, he made Challenger playing nothing but support in solo queue, but one really interesting thing I find about SaintVicious is how damn aggressive he plays on support and how much he dies. He actually averages 6 deaths a game in solo queue on support. Obviously competitive is a slightly lower death environment, so expect that to go down a bit. But I think he's going to be all in almost all the time.
We'll see. You can still really be making plays for your team if you are dying. It doesn't mean that you had a terrible game. We'll see if he can actually put himself in that situation, because it's a tough one to have. Vi being picked up on the side of Crumbzz. That's going to be his 3rd play on that. 2 wins. So why not make it a 3rd? Looking over at Cop. Been liking
both
this
these picks would be great. That is so good for Curse right now. Not only do they get Draven for Cop, which he is successful, and you can see how pumped IWillDominate is. Getting the Gragas away from Dignitas is huge. Scarra, monstrous Gragas player. It is pretty much far and away his favorite champion. I think Scarra might default back onto something like a Karthus, even though Karthus is really not that good against Gragas. Just can't say enough about picking that away from Scarra. I think he was going to go for that 100% if Chris didn't take it there.
And that's strong for Voyboy. We know him as one of the top laners that would also take Gragas as well into that lane when it was viable. So, and even if it is now, could do it.
What if they Quased it in the top lane?
What if they Quased it? Why not? Curse is a team that would actually do that. Quas, we still don't know much about him. He plays strong and he will win his lane, but I don't think he's shown us everything yet.
No, he's played a few unconventional things. He's the guy who's taken Karthus into the top lane.
Yeah.
Oh, Yasuo. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, yeah, whoa.
Maybe it actually is a Gragas in the top lane.
We'll have to see. These are some awesome picks coming out. Saint, he gets himself a bit of an aggressive support.
Yeah, the Alistair I'll get to in a minute as well, because this makes the last pick for Dignitas all the more scary. They don't know what they're laning against. It could be a Gragas or a Yasuo. If it is a Yasuo, Diana would be spectacular against it, I think, because she can close through the wind wall and then hit him with all of her spells.
Get that lockdown affected.
I believe the wind wall strips off Diana's W when she jumps through it, so he would have to wait if he did that. What?
Whoa.
What? So Voyboy actually played Akali against Yasuo and destroyed. It was against ManCloud.
Yeah. Back in week 1.
Scarra has played Akali before. He is very good at it. This is going to go way back in time. 2011 IPL 3. He played Akali almost the entire tournament from the top lane and destroyed people with it. So he knows how to get going on Akali, even if he has to dip into his past to do so.
I love these picks so far coming from the teams. We are going to get Quas on Gragas coming into this, so a whole lot of new coming from both teams. Voyboy, I believe, has seen some Yasuo play. He does have a win on it, so we'll see if he can go strong in this game. You said the Akali matchup was in favor of Voyboy last team.
Oh yeah, it's in favor of the Akali,
so,
most likely. Scarra ends up playing this one. These team compositions are damn exciting to watch right now. Also, the fact that SaintVicious is on Alistair, absolute frontliner
on
at
support.
this point.
On support, got to remind.
Support,
it's not jungle Alistair.
There's a whole boatload of crowd control coming out from Curse to hopefully support Yasuo and Gragas in the solo lanes. I'll delve into the team comps a bit more later because these are really exciting.
Well, while the voting happened, I don't think any of that was taken into consideration.
No, the voting happens before.
The voting happens before, so let's check in with LOLesports.com to see who you did vote for before those picks. And it's 68% of you think that Dignitas are going to come out on top, our closest vote of the day.
Yeah, well, with the winning streak that Dignitas has been on, I'm actually a little surprised it's not a higher number, but people are still trying to figure out if Dignitas is for real or not, because they've went on this amazing win streak after everyone had written them off at the start of the year. They haven't, other than Cloud9, they haven't really taken out the Titans of the LCS yet. This is just another win they have to take to continue their streak.
I think it's only Team Solo Mid who's beaten everybody, right?
Yeah, in a row.
In a row,
exactly.
right.
Dignitas will have to take out Team Solo Mid a little bit later if they want to continue.
They got to wait. They do have a big 3-game weekend since their bye week. Dignitas is coming in with a heavy schedule, and this is the second game of the day for Dignitas. And we'll see what Curse can do in their first game of the day. They have been watching and waiting for this to go down. We are on to the Rift. We see Cruzer getting his Mundo again. He played it earlier, got the win, looking to make it 5 in a row.
Yeah, Curse's team composition is well balanced damage-wise, but in a slightly different way than you'd expect. A lot of times when teams want to play Yasuo in the mid lane, they have trouble fitting in magic damage for the rest of their team comp, and especially when you consider a Pantheon jungle, you'd think Curse is going to have a real struggle doing it.
Yeah.
Very few AP top laners are played. Normally something like Rumble would be what you would see, but the Gragas, big surprise pick, and I really like it against a Mundo. I really do think that Curse picked the Gragas, thinking Voyboy could go mid lane if he wanted to with it.
And they see
once they saw the Mundo, they said, all right, we're doing this top lane. Because Dr. Mundo is a very non-interactive laner. He will basically just try and survive and farm, which means that Quas can completely survive in that top lane and farm to monstrous proportions.
A body slam, keeping him safe in the long lane. Usually you don't
if he
see
wants
that.
to escape.
Right. He starts with the Doran's Ring. So it looks like they're going to keep themselves just farming as you would. Cleaver's Barrels, looking around the map, though. Both teams are kind of a poke comp, or pick comp, I'm sorry. How is that going to work out as they come to the game? It's just going to be a bloodbath.
There's a lot of assassination potential, absolutely. Right. And very squishy people. As far as Curse is concerned, the Alistar is the only one with the potential to be very tanky, unless Quas does something crazy on Gragas, which means if Curse falls behind, I think they're in more trouble than Dignitas will. They have a lot of damage follow-up. They have a lot of people who can dive in, but if they're all diving in while they're squishy, they're going to get peeled really hard by KiwiKid's Thresh and not necessarily be able to take much out.
We see KiwiKid with the sweeper to start as well on his side. Looks like they're going to keep a little bit more control of that brush in the bottom lane and not allow too many engagements. He said Saint was going to be aggressive, and that's a good way to keep it down. Yeah,
Alistar is actually not that strong of a laner. He is more about his team fight presence. I think Cop and SaintVicious are going to be playing very passive. Cop's just going to be worrying about getting his adoration stacks. We're going to keep tabs on these because Cop is one of the best people at stacking adoration stacks.
We saw that
He had a game earlier in the LCS where he had 650, and there was a fight around the Baron pit where he was like an inch away from getting kills 4 or 5 times, was never able to get it, and then he lost half of his adoration stacks. But anyway, he's going to be stacking adoration. SaintVicious is going to be defending and peeling for him. And when they get gank support from IWillDominate, then they go aggressive. But outside of that, they will be super passive.
When they get this right here, that gank support, KiwiKid
like
keeping it safe. Can he get the Aegis on? You're definitely in jump range, but is the team ready? He wants to make sure they can follow up. They flash for KiwiKid, going in very strong there. They get his flash, but he doesn't go very far. The red buff is on. The headbutt is there. The kill for Cop. First blood.
Well, he cashed in on his adoration right there. It just wasn't very much because he hadn't stacked in so long. But that's exactly what they're trying to do in that lane. They play on their back feet until IWillDominate comes in, and then they stack the CC. They got both the jump stun from Pantheon and the pulverize from Alistar before KiwiKid could flash away, and it allowed them to secure the kill.
Very interesting choice to blow everything off a KiwiKid on that one. They don't go for the Cutie Pie.
Well, it's because Cutie Pie would have been able to flash and dash away, which means they couldn't have closed after he flashed, which means that was the only guaranteed kill they could get.
Considering every in and out of the fight before Curse came in, and it showed with the kill. First blood under 4 minutes. We'll see what they can keep doing. We've seen the early aggression of Pantheon paying big today in each game.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he's such a feared pick. So many team compositions, especially when they're squishy like this, really rely on getting ahead early. Pantheon is just the perfect guy to fit into that puzzle.
See what Cop can do. He gets it back, a quick scepter, so he's going to have that damage advantage in lane. He's nicely pushed, so they go back at the perfect time. Already about a 700 gold lead coming in here. Yeah. Curse is going to try to keep extending this. Looks like Pantheon may be making a head towards mid.
Yeah, as Quas actually putting a lot of harass down, knowing there's no gank pressure up there regardless. But about the mid lane, a little surprised Scarra started with Cloth Armor 5 potions. He's got a gank coming in. He's going to have to burn flash at least.
There's a stun going down. The Shroud's going to be there. Saint is also roaming middle. There's the headbutt into the wall. And the Pulverize, knowing that the wall would stun him up a little bit. Beautifully and calmly played.
Level 3 roam by SaintVicious after they shoved up the lane. Caught Scarra completely off guard at that point. That is something that Zcant probably would not have done in this situation.
No.
Saint shot calling, ganking, jungler instinct coming in right there. Comboing a gank with IWillDominate.
Well, you said the laning phase for Alistar wouldn't be that strong, so...
The roaming phase sure is.
The roaming phase coming up with some big kills. 1,000 gold in the lead now. Crumbzz being called with KiwiKid to middle. They are causing Dig to react heavily here.
Yeah, what an impressive roam right there, shutting down Scarra. Scarra wanted to rush the Seeker's arm guard. That's why he started with a cloth armor instead of a Doran shield.
Smart.
But he ended up dying. The extra health and the health regen from the Doran shield may have saved him in that situation.
Like you
Tricky
said,
call.
Maybe not a call we would have seen with Zcant in the game, so that voice proving useful so far with SaintVicious on support. The teleport back for Cruiser in the top lane, and Quas has not been doing too bad in this lane.
Yeah, that's, like I said, non-interactive lane from Mundo. So Quas is free to farm. He's actually out-farming Cruiser. Mundo gets out-farmed by almost everything at this point. When he transitions down, it's going to be very important. But the Dignitas composition is actually something we haven't talked about much. They're way more conventional when we consider it. They can have double tanks that dive in with Cruiser and Crumbzz. They can be the tank buddies that go in and just try and brute force down Cop. KiwiKid is going to try and peel the assassins off from Curse, and a lot of it will really just hinge on how farmed Scarra gets, because Scarra and Vi going in together, if they can't finish off Cop like right away, it's going to be trouble. Cop will finish them off. Voyboy will be unleashed onto the backline and destroy Imaqtpie, and so much actually hinges on Scarra's strength in this game.
Well, they're going to have a lot of threats to focus here, depending on how big Quas gets. Dominate's going to be doing damage. Voyboy and Cop on Yasuo and Draven, so Curse really looking to bring the pain to these fights. We'll see if Dignitas can get themselves big enough and defended enough before that happens. Cop 32 to 56 in that bottom lane, so the back kind of hurting there.
That's kind of the
lost his roamer.
The thing that happens when you lose your support to mid lane. Obviously, Curse puts a lot of importance on helping out Yasuo in that lane, since Akali can decimate him under the right circumstances, and that is the price they pay. They're losing heavily. If we think back, even though Curse was able to get a kill, they were losing that lane pretty badly before. Like as we said, Alistar's not a good laner.
Right.
So Curse definitely getting pushed into it.
And as you said, that Akali versus Yasuo has been swapped in the top and the mid lane because they didn't like it either.
Yeah, they're getting completely out of that. This is nice too. It's mainly a swap due to the itemization. The Seeker's Arm Guard is not effective against Quas's Gragas, and he might be able to blow Scarra up now.
Very well played.
Especially
the jump to the middle.
There is a counter gank coming.
Do they have a pink ward? They have 2 pink wards to be used in this. Scarra gets hit up quite hard, but the assault battery comes in big. He dives right back into the fight, and he thinks he's going down, but he doesn't. Very nice, and the excessive force damage coming in. Quas almost going down here. Is he going to go under? They got the red buff. He turns the other way. You faker.
Well, 1 for 1 right there. Kill onto... Wait, who was the kill on? Gragas.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking at the mid laner.
Huzzah. Well, he is in the mid lane now.
And onto Scarra. So I'd say that was just a nice counter gank by Crumbzz. You usually get destroyed by Pantheon's ganks because you can't really predict where they go. You can't see them coming. But knowing that Curse had already kind of showed their hand, that they were trying to shut down Scarra, not only did they do a roam up early on in the game, they're now doing a Pantheon gank and a lane swap. It just meant some good stuff from him. Great punch by Crumbzz. He stopped the jump from IWillDominate with his Vault Breaker.
That could not have been timed any better. And Scarra doing it as he should. Much damage before you die.
Yeah. Just cannot really peel Akali. She has too many jumps.
She got bounced, 800 range out of the fight. Right back in. Punch you in the throat.
No problem.
9 minutes into the game. 3-1 here. It's about 700, 900 gold lead. They're going to be getting it pretty well for themselves. Looks like Curse will just be keeping taking these jungle camps. Dominate's going to wait for that ultimate to come back up. And we can see that Voyboy quite close to a static ship. Already has that Zeal up.
Yeah, that's the item Yasuo generally goes for. Double crit on Yasuo just by his passive. Crit chances doubled, which means people go static ship Infinity Edge and 5% crit on their rune page, which is what Voyboy does, to reach 100% crit and get the reliable damage.
Looking at the build from Cop. Starting with the pickaxe himself with that early back and the kills that he got. He was looking for damage in the lane. He's facing up against KiwiKid, who's got his BF sword on one of his first backs. And that CS lead still in the bottom lane and also in the jungle. But we have to consider that Dominate has been affecting the lanes with ganks.
Absolutely right here. Cop, Adoration stacking up for him, actually. Sitting on a lot of stacks. You can actually see those IWillDominate waiting in the wings. His Pantheon ultimate is up. Here it comes again.
That's what he was waiting for, Jack. Going in, the lantern. Oh, he's
cancel it. Everybody calm down.
God, everybody's fooling.
He decided
today.
Not to. Keep jungling. But when he canceled it that early, like before the enemy can see it, its cooldown isn't really crushed. It's a 5-second cooldown. He can come again.
Oh, he can come again, but this time Crumbzz is on the backside. They were feeling this, and it looks like it is going to be right into KiwiKid. He goes to blow his flash. The exhaust is still down for him to use. He uses it. The Draven ulti coming through. KiwiKid looking to take down Dominate, and they go very hard in the 2v1 in him. Cop now being the focus. SaintVicious looking. Oh, he flashes to pulverize. He can't even get the chance to do it. Cop goes down, though. They trade 80 carry for 80 carry in the retribution kill, and it just leaves Crumbzz insane.
Yeah, but Cop got both of those kills cashed in. He had about 140 stacks of Adoration before that one and got some big money off of that gank. He is going to be a very strong Draven right now. If we actually look at the gold, he is ahead of Imaqtpie by 300 despite being down in the lane. So I'd say very successful gank once again by IWillDominate and SaintVicious. Yeah, just they lock down KiwiKid so fast. They jump right onto him, and they hit him in the dead center, which means that Pantheon ult does more damage. And just watch how Cop catches his axes throughout this. It's ridiculous. He even caught that one as Crumbzz went through him. It's why Cop is so good at Draven. He played it all throughout the summer split, trying to get this going. Always able to get one after the other, keep both of them spinning, and just enough damage at the end to take him down.
He almost lived there. That was a minion kill
really
from
close.
all of the auto attacks that were in the air there. Great job catching the axes.
Dignitas was able to take the dragon, obviously.
Yeah,
we
the
saw
dragon
the lower
after
tip.
that.
Keep the gold close in this game, which is incredibly key to stop Curse from just destroying this game with their global gank pressure from IWillDominate. Not to mention how they have so many squishy people. Quas, AP Burst on Gragas, comboed up with Yasuo. It's going to be very tricky.
They're doing a great job of keeping the vision up, so they are the first ones to act on these fights and not be caught off guard. You see in the bottom lane, a few wards, just the regular wards to keep them safe. And Cop, he is kind of waiting. He doesn't have anybody to babysit him right now, so he can't farm this.
Yeah, he's getting abandoned a fair bit, but he's getting the help when he needs it.
Yeah.
It is a fair trade if you're an 80 carry right now. Your farm isn't all that matters. A lot of times it's your kills. Got the wave stacked up. Catch a few more axes.
It's very interesting purchases from Curse here. A lot of consumable wards being purchased. The rush of the Talisman of Ascension with no Sight Stone and Vision for Saint.
Yeah, he is definitely trying to take his presence throughout the map. This is something some Alistar players like to do when they're ahead, is just rush the Talisman. Alistar is all about move speed. It's about getting into range for a headbutt and pulverize. And additionally, it's about the cooldown reduction. It's the best stat you can have on Alistar since he is so reliant on his headbutt and pulverize.
Right.
The closer you get to 40%, the more effective you become. I think we're just going to see another...
Yeah, the man
Pantheon
drops
right here.
one after the other. A vicious cycle here. It's going to be the Lantern. A very nice play as well, but it's not going to be enough. The culling. KiwiKid puts himself in the fight. He says, oh, I think he's a turret. I want to take that down. Cruiser comes in. Here comes Crumbzz. Flashes. Assault and battery into the fight as well. An excessive force will be used against this Cursed squad. They are going to get one. They are going to get two. Saint looks to do what he can as a mad cow, and he looks to dodge the last cleaver.
All right, 2 for 2, but the teleport did have to be used by Cruzer right there, and it's crazy. Where I was thinking about how much adoration we're going to count for Cop. This is going to be great. He doesn't have big stacks of it because he's getting so many damn kills in lane at this point. Curse, though, more pressure out of that one. They did not have to use the teleport. They get a turret in return, and they trade the 2 kills for 2.
First world problem. Too many stacks, too many kills.
And just look how fast they burst down KiwiKid. He has almost no chance in these ones. Well-targeted man drops by IWillDominate. Imaqtpie definitely trying to stay and wait for Crumbzz to come in. Very close to being able to turn this one around. Just got bursted down right before Crumbzz could come in. And there was very little that Curse could do to a monster mover who came in at that point.
Saint's Alistair play really on point.
It's been pretty good.
The headbutts into the wall is fantastic because you get that extra bit of just kind of lockout, and then you pulverize him into the ground. Making sure he's getting everything he needs as Voyboy and Cruzer going back and forth up top. Cruzer knows there's some damage to be had there. The static shift is finished, and even if Akali comes up, pink wards are had to be exiting or entering these fights for the kill.
Yeah, and Yasuo is very dangerous at this stage in the game. Laning phase, generally in the mid game, is what's weak for Yasuo. Yasuo's got a very strong level 1 to 3 because his E can do so much damage early once you stack up a few dashes with it. But then he needs his items to bring him back in the late game. And he has a static shift now. He needs to get his Infinity Edge before he becomes powerful again. But based on the fact that he's sitting on that 1 kill, has more farm than the enemy mid laner in Scarra, means that things are going very well for Voyboy's Yasuo right now.
Very well indeed. If you have an Akali jump on you right now, there's enough power on Curse to explode Scarra. He has been very docile on an Akali for this portion. He hit 6 quite a bit ago.
Yeah. There's not too much impact that's been seen by Scarra. I think a lot of it just had to do with how pressured he got early on in the lane. He's also been mitigated greatly by the fact that they swapped Gragas into his lane after he had itemized for Yasuo.
That was a great move.
Yeah, really just adding insult to injury there with that lane swap.
Looking at Quas, 100, 154, and you got to consider it's kind of between Cruzer's CS and Scarra's CS as those lanes were swapped, but he's still winning, and he's still providing some great play. We've always looked at him on Curse to say, when is he going to come out? And it's just consistent. Maybe it won't ever be amazing. He's always been a good player.
Yeah. Cobb, always, forever on Curse. Doing well, honestly. Bloodthirster, Last Whisper coming soon. He's going to be doing a truckload of damage, I think, in some of these fights. Knowing that SaintVicious is just leading the way.
That's been an interesting Alistar.
Good.
The early roam, fantastic
They're always
play.
just waiting for these ganks. I mean, how many more ganks will IWillDominate have to do? I almost feel like Crumbzz has a timer going off in his head now. He's played Pantheon. He knows the cooldown of Grand Skyfall, and he's waiting for it to come again because this has happened 2 or 3 times already. Crumbzz is trying to preempt it this time.
They're waiting in the shadows right now.
Oh,
this is going to
so
be a
clever.
perfect counter.
Curse expects a counter, so they're sending more people. They know the teleport's down at this point.
Well, it's 30 seconds for Dragon, so something will happen eventually. That's easy enough to say, right?
I think something will happen eventually. That's a safe call.
Made it. All right, now we just watch. Yeah, the 2,000 gold lead. It's those items that's maybe keeping Dig at bay right now from those initiations, waiting for Curse to kind of walk into the wrong spot and explode them out of these fights. They've been trying bottom over and over again.
I think it's
a
good place to focus their ganks, knowing that mid lane is kind of won by the fact that Scarra is playing so passively against Quas' Gragas. And Cop wants to keep getting those adoration stacks going. Sitting on 82 of them right now, 84.
So Hextech Gunblade finished up on the side of Scarra. We have a BF sword coming out for Voyboy, so they're a little bit of damage on top of that crit now. And it looks like they will start to posture for this Dragon.
This is a very large moment in the game. Uh-oh, Quas.
Whoa! Quas gets hit up immediately. Is the pink ward going to go down? No, it is not there for them yet. Scarra, wait, Quas stays alive! In the backside, he lives with about 10 HP. SaintVicious comes in. KiwiKid can't even move. Instantly suffocated in the fight. And a great collapse from Curse.
Quas just an inch away from death, but then gets his full burst out onto the Dignitas team. They destroy them in that team fight and secure another Dragon in just a blink of an eye.
Gotta be careful when you're fighting a drunk man. They can do some pretty crazy things. 400 gold, 1,000 gold. Yes, my brain works. In the lead right now with that Dragon with the man drop. Grand Skyfall. Saint, are you in range? The flash, the flay, the Aegis, and now the headbutt. Wait a minute. That's
wrong way. Yeah.
No one saw that.
No. KiwiKid with the timely flash. Made SaintVicious hit him in the wrong way. Let's check out this team fight. Quas gets caught blinded here. You think they could finish him off, but then he gets down both his Q and his R, which then makes cleanup an easy thing. Pantheon gets crits on people that are 15% lower. Voyboy even saves his ultimate because KiwiKid was on his way over to help support, and everything fell apart because they weren't able to burst Quas down immediately. If we think about that fight,
that was crazy.
In a world where Quas does die, everything actually goes the other way. Imaqtpie's roam works.
Oh, Voyboy, wow, he goes to the other side. Now back through his wall. He's trying to work the wind, but he can't cut it just right.
Not that slippery.
No.
There's a fist with his name on it right there. Assault and battery finishes off Voyboy real easy. At least Dig gets a little something back. They needed it.
And something I got to mention on that last fight, as we just see Quas for a second.
Go for it.
He was fully drink on his drunken rage there. Fully popped up.
Yeah,
if he was
have
not,
that damage
he
reduction,
would have died. So they
Interesting
kind of
tip
used
on
him
Gragas.
as a sentry. They're like, you go walk in here.
You got to get into the habit of just constantly using your W anytime it's
Yeah.
up, because you don't know when being drunk's going to come in handy.
When does it come in handy?
When you're driving, it's usually never a good thing.
Well, technically they're in the driver's seat, so
there you go.
They made it work. 20 minutes on the clock, 9-6, 4,000 gold in the lead. And it looks like they're only ready to pressure that even more. The Black Cleavers finished up on to dominate, along with the Lizard Elders. It was finished quite a while ago, and he has been bringing out the assists, at least, for his team. He's participating in the 9 kills.
Yeah, there's been a lot of team participation so far by Curse. They're really trying to take this lead into their own hands. And we mentioned how Scarra's farm was going to be so pivotal if Dignitas wanted to walk away with victory. He just hasn't gotten going. With his gunblade completed at this point, it's kind of his moment, but I just feel like Cop is too strong. If he tries to dive on top of Cop, he's just going to get an axe to the face. Uh-oh, here it comes, going for Scarra.
Oh, very nice Lantern. Something we got to watch out for with that Thresh pick against the Pantheon. 17, or 117, I should say, for Crumbzz and CS to Pantheon's 80, which just shows that Dominate has been trying to do a lot of falling from the sky this game. He's got it to work quite a bit of times. We just talked about how much his kill participation is up top. This is not looking good for Cop.
Nice
He
flash.
gets hit up once. There's the assault and battery. They go right under the turret. That's the barrier right away, and he does what he can with Dominate, creeping out on the backside a little too late.
Yeah, very nice flash into Vault Breaker so we could just burst him down with damage, and then ultimate. One of the highest damage normal spells in the game. 340 base damage on Vault Breaker at max rank there. Really blowing up Cobb.
So that's when getting caught at the pub doesn't help. Quas was just a few seconds too late on the engage there. They do have good coverage up and down that side of the jungle, so if anything were to happen here, they would really have a power play pushing Dignitas out of this mid lane. But looks like Dig has already left themselves. They're going to go back to farming in the jungle. 3,000 gold down. It's not looking too grim for them. They're getting the items they need.
They've had a couple nice things happen to them since they lost the Dragon fight. They have both been keyed off of Crumbz's ganks. 1-0-5 on Vi. He's the one really keeping them in the game right now. He ganked top lane, got a kill on Voyboy, ganked bottom lane, got a kill on the Cobb. And they've taken that gold lead, which was 5,000, down to about 1,500. But the thing that they really have to worry about is the fact that Voyboy now has enough gold for his Infinity Edge. Meaning that if he gets a knock on Scarra, he's going to basically burst him out. Imaqtpie is equally as vulnerable. The healing potential for the people that need to deal damage on Dignitas isn't high enough based on how much power the assassins on Curse have.
Well, Curse looking to assassinate quickly. Scarra jumps in. If KiwiKid even gets in range, and that's kind of been SaintVicious' key here, is finding KiwiKid in these fights, taking him out. They pinched him in last time. The Dragon wasn't the spot that Dignitas wanted to fight. And looks like they won't have any better of a chance fighting outside the Dragon either. They're just getting pushed around right now.
Yeah, Curse is trying to take control of the jungle and then find the right fight. They have the talisman completed. Remember, Dignitas does not. They're going to try and chase really quickly. You could see Curse actually hoped Dignitas fell back straight through their lane because Alistair was flanking around the side. Now they're just going to try and push mid because they know Dignitas doesn't want to come up against them. This is a great push
they
right here by
Curse. They also don't
Curse.
have a KiwiKid or anybody in place for this. They have 3 people backing right now. No,
Let's see how much
not
damage
a
they
big
get on
minion
this
wave.
turret. There's just nobody in place for Dignitas right now. The minions run out.
KiwiKid being there with the chance to crowd control. A little bit of a deterrent, and they back off as 5, but this is still a very powerful group of Curse here.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to try to play some tricks.
I don't think Curse knew how well they had it right there. They didn't realize Dignitas was so out of position. Otherwise, they would have stuck around a bit more for that turret.
30 seconds on the Dragon, and anything that happens up top here, they're saying, when's the red? Maybe we have the timer.
They're trying the same maneuver again.
They do have the red
They're
timer.
hoping that someone comes in and checks on this red.
Yeah.
Someone will come in and check on the red.
Oh, dear. That's the sweeper down.
But will Curse be in position for an attack?
Oh, God. They are just...
Oh, man.
This is a game of peekaboo right now. Oh, the pink words everywhere. Get out of there. Does not want any of that. Scarra trying to look for a safe spot. It's going to be KiwiKid taking a bit of damage in the beginning. Dominate's now into the fight, and they do take down KiwiKid. The box is obsolete. This means all of these DPSers can run around freely. A great wall going down. Scarra actually gets Voyboy. Where's Crumbzz? Cruiser, both about 700 health combined. The shield comes up on the passive. Oh, no way. He lives for a second. I don't think he's going to make it out too far. Does Cop have Adrenaline Rush? They turn actually onto Cruiser for this one. A middle turret being pushed by Imaqtpie right now. The Dig may grab off well here.
So he does get the shutdown at the end of this one, but that could have been a lot worse. Very interesting fight right there. No one ends up taking the Dragon. KiwiKid might actually go down and grab that, which would, in theory, equalize the fight. And make
turret and another turret.
But check this out. SaintVicious blows a lot of crowd control on Cruiser, actually, which I think was a fatal flaw. He pulverized him, doesn't really do much, which delays the initiation of the rest of Dignitas. Then he flashes in for a headbutt, which is very surprising. He could have locked down a lot more people. This fight just continues. Another key pulverize here. Watch SaintVicious stop Scarra's dash. That actually saved Voyboy's life for a split second. This fight could have went in a lot of different directions. Cop, though, was pretty much untouched, and the chase was a little bit underwhelming for Curse. Great running by Cruiser, landing almost every cleaver, and he's the one who allowed Crumbzz to escape.
Good focus. KiwiKid getting the mid turret, getting the Dragon for the team as well, so they gain a good bit off of that.
They do, actually. Dignitas, who got caught out in the fight, had more people die, and nearly got aced, come out ahead because Imaqtpie was able to sneak off and grab the Dragon. It was a very tactical play there by him to just pick that one up off the back of the fight. Very fortunate almost, because I don't necessarily think it was super intentional. He just happened to get peeled to that side of the fight. And the team said, hey, Dragon's up. No one's going to do Baron. Just go grab it.
Scarra not having the score he usually has had in the 6 straight wins for Dignitas, and it's slowing the team down a bit. Crumbzz is there getting in with the engagements. 1-0 and 7.
Those pink wars are going to last a while.
Yeah.
9, 10.
Yeah. Good shots. Little return on investment there. Putting his wards down.
He 200 more gold. Dignitas gets back from that fight.
Yeah.
Technically more because they get the gold kill from the gold.
Ooh.
So 100 each plus the 20.
That's good investing right there.
Big money. That's almost a kill. It's crazy when you think of it like that. It's a kill on a guy who's feeding a little bit.
Just a little bit. Find the next one. 0-4-4. KiwiKid has been a very big focus of this game, and he's actually been one of a huge initiator for Dignitas. With the Annie, with the box that hasn't been used this game.
Yeah, he hasn't been the initiator
it's been falling apart
in this one. He's really relegated into the role of just trying to stop the assault of Curse on his Thresh so far. Really just trying to throw up the box and playing. The people that will be initiating are Crumbzz, Scarra, Cruiser. KiwiKid's not needed. He's needed to keep Imaqtpie alive. The Baron is going to be a big point of contention here as well.
I'm just considering now this Akali pick that everybody's grouping. With it being after the Gragas, you know, it kind of depletes the jumping in. We saw it work before and he was able to kill Quas, but it might prove difficult when Crumbzz is going in and you can't get in with him.
Oh, can they get any follow-up over the wall? Saints all by himself over there. Teleport coming in, Baron low.
Kyle's off on the side, needs to get back to the farm. Cruiser coming in on teleport. He's going to be safe for now. Death Sentence not hitting. Both teams kind of letting these cooldowns come back up now before they reposition, just staring at the whites of each other's eyes.
Yeah, I feel like this is a bad move for Curse right now because IWillDominate took about half his health bar from the culling. He has almost no defensive armor on Pantheon right there. But they still might be looking for something. IWillDominate sticking around. Still sweeping out wards. This is the moment that the game will be decided. Dignitas has crawled back from a 5,000 gold deficit with no big wins, just a bunch of small incremental ones. And now they might be strong enough to win a team fight and take control of this game.
Scarra has the Zanya's outplay capability in this game. That item was finished up. Like we said, Crumbzz 1-0 and 7, so he's tanking enough for the initial all-in that is required by Assault and Battery. For now, both teams are going to back off.
Yeah, Pantheon has some definite fall off, and he's feeling it right now. Didn't get any of the kills. Has not been able to build up sufficient tank stats. The Curse has got to be a little bit worried about that at this point. Likewise, if Scarra can get onto Cop and finish him off, it would be a huge swing in these fights. The late game power of these teams is actually very close. A lot of times we get to tell these cool stories about this really weak early game team versus a great late game team, but it's not the case right here. Yasuo scales amazingly, Pantheon doesn't. Akali can just go crazy. Lucian doesn't scale necessarily as well as Draven, but he has more mobility. Like, there's a lot of conflicting goals that are going on right here. And it's only a 700 to 800 gold lead for Curse. It was 5,000 before.
And what are we looking for from Dignitas? What is their optimal engagement?
Yeah, I think it's just any type, like anybody but SaintVicious right now. There's 4 squishy targets on Curse right now. All of them are good, which makes teamfights a very tricky thing. I don't know if catching Cruz is the best idea, but they're going for it.
Sadism still up, actually gets thrown on from the outside. The flash engage again coming in here from Crumbzz. They're going to be big and get 3 on the ultimate of Yasuo. Voyboy, a beautiful job there. They all fall to the ground and are running for their lives. Dignitas now trying to regroup on this, reassess the fight, but Curse is huddled. They're looking to attack. Piercing down now, it's going to be on a KiwiKid. He looks to get the culling out, pushing back SaintVicious, and they reconsider.
Curse is the only team to have a death in that fight. But look at all the flashing red on Dignitas. That fight was ridiculously close, just like this game. They tried to kill Cruzer, and since they didn't kill him in time, they risked a disaster right there. Good Lord, Riv, that was close. I have to question the initiation from Saint. Blowing a flash pulverize on a non-priority target is devastating.
See him going in, and it's hard. They don't have vision of what's below them either.
Yeah, Cruzer pops his ultimate right there, and Crumbzz comes in without a bunch of damage. One thing to note in this fight is pay attention to Scarra's health and how much he spell vamps to stay alive. First off, he Zhonya's the ultimate from Draven. Then he dashes to finish off Quas right here, and then lifesteals off a minion as well when he dashes to it to just barely stay alive. That was so close to being a 1-for-1, but Scarra stays alive.
Great play right there. Put him on a champion where you can outplay, and he will surely put himself in that situation. Lasagna's keeping him alive, very much so, in the rush of that Hextech Gunblade, keeping that spell vamp coming in clean. 12 to 10, 31 minutes into this game, and Dig has taken the gold lead.
Yeah, they're really accumulating gold at a crisp pace right now. Big items, though, on Quas. If he can land any type of stuff on Imaqtpie. You can see Imaqtpie is going towards a Guardian Angel, but he built the Chain Vest first because he's more worried about the Yasuo finish, not so much the Gragas. That's the difficulty of itemizing against Curse right now. They have 2 really high damage bursts with different damage types.
Dignitas grabbing up another dragon, or rather Curse, I should say.
Yeah.
And they move their way up
Gives
here.
them the goldie. They haven't been getting too many of those dragons, actually. So it's very important that they get that.
Gold lead just creeping up a little bit more, as you said. 4-2 in turrets has given them the ability to get themselves in these positions to initiate, but now they're not as clean on the initiation.
Yeah, and you can see the Black Cleaver on IWillDominate and the lack of armor penetration on Voyboy. Those 2 actually have to work together and make sure they're hitting the same target at this point. There's a lot of peel that actually has to be done from the Curse side now that Crumbzz and Cruzer have hit such tanky proportions. In order to kill them, they have to focus the Black Cleaver stacks with their physical damage. It'll be an interesting thing to track in these teamfights, whether they just dive in and ignore them, or whether they pull back and try and finish them off together. Because I think if they do one or the other, it works, but if they split up, and you say Voyboy goes in while IWillDominate peels, the Black Cleaver's not going to be useful.
Everybody's got to be on the same page. It's going to make it hard. Hopefully Quas doesn't bounce anybody out. Those ults don't complement each other too well, but the damage, that's always complementary. 52,000, just a bit ahead here as they try to squeak the wards out of Baron Pit, deny that vision. The hashtag no fog is really the priority here for both teams.
It's a good one. No fog. Trying to light up the map right now. A lot of sweeping so far. SaintVicious not dying on Alistair, actually. I was expecting him to.
Well, you said competitive play was a bit safer.
There's definitely more
deaths. Definitely have that calm.
6 deaths a game average on a supporting and solo queue. 0 deaths so far this game. Stepping it up.
KiwiKid's got 4. He had about the least on the team, transferring from the most in the previous splits.
Yeah. It's amazing. KiwiKid set a record for deaths in the LCS. And I'm sure he's constantly reminded.
Hey, a record is a record.
It is in the top lane. But on support, he has been really good.
Yeah,
this split.
His Annie play was banned out this game. We saw it earlier today, and he pretty much wrecked house. I think his second item was a needlessly large rod on Annie. So
danger.
What are you going to do? You're going to die from that. SaintVicious and crew walking over a ward here. They're going to hatch that right quick, and that is the knowledge.
Necessarily sweep that spot. That's not a spot you think to sweep. That's the spot you would think to sweep. But it does reach back. They were able to click that ward down. I wonder how aggressive Dignitas is going to decide to get here, knowing that they've kind of clawed their way back
It's the first time we kind of see him on the other half of the map.
They're starting to take a little bit of control. Curse has lost theirs. You know, turrets are so close to this game as well. The map is very open right now. Guardian Angel has been completed by Voyboy, which is really key. But I think the last Whisper is going to be the item that puts him over the top.
And you see a lot of Curse kind of mitigating against what Scarra is going to do right now. The Negatron's Cloak being picked up, at least so you can sustain that initial burst. Hopefully live. Yeah. Scarra is going to be at your throat. We saw what happened when Quas tried to bounce him away. He was right back in the fight.
Scarra really wants his Lich Bane, actually, if he wants to be able to combo his burst insanely. They're at a bit of a standstill. I think both teams are a little bit scared of what's happening here because Curse has been pressing so hard for the past 15 minutes or so. Initiating onto the wrong targets, I think. They've pulverized Cruzer by himself 2 fights in a row. And that's allowed Dignitas to take these little small advantages. And Dignitas has gotten most of those because Curse is pressing a bit too hard and not able to find them and still taking it anyway. So this kind of means that both teams are now scared of going because Curse's initiations haven't worked well for them. And Dignitas has only worked well because Curse is over-initiating.
The man drops have been giving him the chance to come back.
Something has to change at this point because Curse has stopped taking the risks.
Yeah, we haven't seen a man drop. Probably a good 10 minutes to come in here unless it was on a fight that was right in front of Dominate. They're not initiating. They were going for KiwiKid a lot earlier. They're trying to dictate something here in mid with a pretty solid push on both side lanes.
Yeah, and the items are still building up. You know, the Lich Bane did get completed by Scarra, which means maybe now they'll think they'll have enough aggression. Or are they actually waiting for Imaqtpie to finish either his Infinity Edge or his Guardian Angel, both of which are huge items for him.
KiwiKid has been one lately that we've seen crushing for Dignitas, but everybody really doing their part here. It's usually been a roll and somebody follows that momentum. We see they're doing it as a team this time.
Yeah, and another thing is Cop is so far behind in CS, in small part because the rest of his team, since they've been grouped up so far, gets the CS before he has a chance for it. Whereas Dignitas is giving a lot back to Imaqtpie. So the 80 carry distribution team by team, Dig is trusting QtPie more with his farm. We might see the fight now. They're really playing with fire.
That was a very close death sentence. Quas just out of range. They're pushed off quite far from their turret. If that's what Curse wanted, they're getting what they want.
Yeah, this could be an open fight for both teams. It's a slightly more advantageous position for Dignitas because they could fall back theoretically to their turret.
Kite it right in.
Curse recognizes that. They know they have nothing to fall back to. So they're actually backing away a little bit, hoping to find a catch. But SaintVicious only sees Cruzer as a potential initiation target. That's why he's not going.
I like this.
If he can get by, he might go.
5v5 laning phase at 36 minutes into the game, and it looks like we're going back and forth. Cop and the team looks to pressure a little harder. Respect is being given on both sides. You walk at us, we'll walk back, and same on the other side.
They're really just waiting for someone to make a mistake, someone to go a little bit too far. This is pretty close to the turret. Here comes Curse.
They lock down the man drop. It's going to be for Crumbzz. He's been a huge factor with the assault and battery. He still tries to get out. The cast takes him down. Beautiful ult coming in from QtPie, but he's in the backside. Can he get some more in? Cop has already thrown his. They do get Scarra. Double kill for Quas. Looking for more. It's going to be Cruzer now as the only focus. They're trying to shoot the closest thing, but does that give KiwiKid and QtPie a chance? No, it does not.
It's still just a 2-for-1. How much can Curse get out of this one? Because Imaqtpie is a great defender, but there's so much damage he has to be afraid of.
Get the turret down. Second tier is that gold in their pocket. A 2,000 gold lead back in favor of Curse. That was a long standoff to see the man drop again.
Curse finally pulled the trigger, and they got the initiation onto someone who isn't Dr. Mundo, which was the key right there. They comboed down onto Crumbzz. Like we said, IWillDominate shredded the armor early on in the initiation, and the rest of the team piled on, Pop in particular. Look at that. They push him back. Dignitas could not necessarily help with the initiation. They burst him down, finished by the barrel, and then it was still a pretty close fight after this. You can definitely see Scarra was super close to getting the GA proc onto Voyboy. He went down to a barrel, unfortunately, and then Curse is just pushing them back at this point. Since Dignitas had lost their tank line threat, they had to fall away, and they were more vulnerable to the assassination of Curse, which is why they ended up losing the turret.
Very good play from Curse. So many squishy champions in the fight, but they're using everything in the perfect order to stay alive here. Dignitas trying to soak up any bit of resources they have right now in the jungle. Barons and Dragons, very much a thing right now. The Dragon has become alive. We'll see if anybody even goes for that. It's worth a bit of gold now, this late in the game.
Average level in the game is higher than 15. That's the highest level for the Dragon to get to, which means he gives 260 gold per person.
It's a good chunk of change.
And Curse, are they going to rush this? I think if there was no ward inside there, they may have, but they're still going to force they're just going straight for it. They think Dignitas out of position there. Right, Scarra is killing the dragon right now. He needs to get off of that.
He does take it down. That's a bit of gold. Here comes the teleport in. It's going to be Cruzer. Do they have it? Oh! No, that is not going to happen for you, Crumbzz. They get in. It's going to be getting out of the fight that's going to be tough. It's Cruzer right in the back line. Crumbzz tries to, I think I can help you. And he may be able to. On to Voyboy, but the focus is there from Curse. You can almost hear the comms.
If somebody knows something about smite steals, it would be SaintVicious, and he did not give IWillDominate a chance to miss that one. Curse continues.
Voyboy trying to go in, misses the dash, but he gets another one onto Scarra. He's forced to go into the fight. The Zanyas, but to what avail? Going down after that, but you look good in gold.
They are going to get so much off this. Look at the duration of the death timers, 40 minutes into the game. Curse capitalizing on a Dignitas positional error, and they're getting that inhibitor.
Curse knew what they wanted the whole time while kiting Dignitas back and forth in that top lane. It looks like they are going to tank it up for a Nexus. The angle they have only makes a shot by one turret.
Yeah, this is almost indefensible for Imaqtpie. The minions are here. This is a Curse victory.
A great headbutt out. It's going to be KiwiKid. The 1, the 2, the 3. It goes over. He does get a kill, though. He's able to take one down, but it's going to be too little too late. The Nexus goes down, and Curse is going to be able to stop that Dignitas train.
SaintVicious's return right there comes in victory.
The man behind the curtain.
Oh my God,
out.
that headbutt. Right as Crumbzz was trying to fall breaker in for the steal, he's sharing some kind words with IWillDominate. He says, you know what? When I was a jungler, other junglers getting to steal my Baron. He protected his own jungler that time, headbutting Crumbzz away. And that just catapulted them to victory afterwards.
Who would have thought, and I don't know how many times I've said that today, but it is complete.